Twitter during the game, that's when we turn to the Angry Browns fan.
I'm the Angry Browns fan, and I bring your post to life. This week, the Cleveland Browns lose to the Packers, and fans have no faith in Brandon Weeden anymore. It's Green Bay playing against the third string, and we lost 5 minutes into the game. Good God! That's it. Where's the liquor? Can Jason Campbell really be worse than this? Weeden said this week that he wears earmuffs. Will I wear a blindfold when he plays? Why do I waste my time watching this crap? What's scarier than a zombie apocalypse? Brandon Weeden as the quarterback for the rest of the season. Public service announcement. The Wildcat formation is dead. Hey, Brandon Weeden, go drink some battery acid. Why? 4th and 1, shotgun, pass, interception. What the Is this real life? Better not let Travis Benjamin return any more kickoffs. He is too fast. A successful onside kick. Nope, offside. Another successful onside kick. Nope, illegal touching. Fans, welcome to the ALFA HDP. Another loss for a higher draft pick. That fat ginger that yells discount double check would do better as the Browns quarterback than Weeden. Discount double check. Oh, that's another fat joke. And that's it for this week. The next time you're angry at the Browns, use the hashtag AngryBrownsFan, and I may take your post and put it in a video. Until next time, stay angry, Cleveland.
Outstanding.
You just didn't like. Pause right now. You got the right. All the bad moves in Cleveland. Use a hashtag AngryBrownsFan.
Very nice. Very nice. And look who made. I wonder how he feels about actually making the Angry Browns
he made
fan.
Angry Browns
Congratulations, Kenny Rhoda.
Yeah, wow, I'm amazed. That's a nice little thing to see here in the morning as we're up early talking about doom and gloom with the Cleveland Browns, and I see Alpha Dip there in the Angry Browns fan video. Very nice. I'm honored.
Alpha Dip's hot, man. Alpha Dip is hot. You got it trending, baby.
All right, Kenny.
I don't know if it's going to surpass Apbith, but if they keep playing Brandon Weeden, I think it just might with the way he played. And by the way, I have to take issue with you, Mike Cairns. Brandon Weeden is no broccoli. Broccoli is good for you. It tastes good. How dare you insult broccoli?
No, I wasn't insulting broccoli, though.
Shame on you.
No. I love broccoli, but I was trying to make some kind of correlation, and maybe I missed like a Brandon Weeden 5-yard out. But at the same time, I was just trying to say it was like trying to sell broccoli to your kids, trying to sell Brandon Weeden as your starting quarterback.
Broccoli
Browns
also
fans.
cleans out your system, too. Let's be honest.
Well, then we need some Imodium AD then.
We got to plug up the system. All right, I'll give it to you. I'll give you that. I was thinking a little bit earlier about what this team can do as far as Brandon Weeden's concerned, and plantar fasciitis becomes the thought that I have. Or suddenly his thumb is going to hurt today. Are you with me on this, Ken? I mean, look, every time there's an NBA injury, they need someone to be kind of off on the side. It's plantar fasciitis. That might be what Brandon Weeden has today.
Something, anything. If you're Rob Chudzinski, the head coach of this football team, you're in your first year, you're trying to establish yourself. And he told us last week that he makes the decisions, right? It's his decision as to who plays at quarterback. Can he really look each and every one of his players in the eye and say, Brandon Weeden gives us the best chance to win a football game? I don't think he can do that, and he has to take, a serious look at himself and how he wants to present himself to his football team this week if he's going to send Brandon Weeden back out there. Now, here's the thing we keep going back to. Alpha Dip, another loss for a higher draft pick. Mike Lombardi, Joe Banner, Dr. No, Mr. Freeze, are they going to help Chud out by going out and bringing in a Vince Young or even a Tim Tebow or whoever it is to give Chud another guy to throw out there? Or are they saying, hey, it's your choice. You can go with either Brandon Weeden or you can go with Jason Campbell. We really don't give a damn who it is. Pick one of those two because that's what you're stuck with. And if that's the case, that makes Chud look bad in that locker room. So Banner and Lombardi need to consider that as well if they're looking at Chud as their head coach for the future and they want him to get the respect of those players in the locker room.
All right, Kenny, hang on one second. I got Eric the referee wants something. What do you want?
All right, we got breaking news. SportsCenter just tweeted that Packers tight end Jermichael Finley is in the ICU at the hospital after suffering that neck injury. I want to know from Kenny, do you think that hit by Gibson was legal? Do you think he's going to get fined? Because looking at it, I thought it was a shoulder. He led with his shoulder, but a lot of people are saying that he's going to get fined by the league.
Well, I'll give you this much. I thought if the Roby hit was a good hit, and Andy, you and I talked about this on the postgame with Matt Wilhelm. If the Roby hit was a good hit in old football terms, so was that hit yesterday on Jermichael Finley, but there was contact made with the helmet. and because of all the concussions and the lawsuits and everything like that, they are going to enforce the rule anytime there's a helmet-to-helmet hit or a targeting. If it looks like targeting to the helmet, they're going to throw a flag on it, and that's why the flag was thrown yesterday on Jermichael Finley.
Yeah, I think it's inconsistency, though. I mean, we know that, and that crew yesterday did not have a great game because there were several times that they sat together and looked like, you know, three guys that had seen a football for the first time in their lives trying to make decisions.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, I'm not complaining about the refs because I actually thought they kept the Browns in the game.
Well, you said Kirk Triplett for MVP, but I was thinking
Jeff
about
Triplett, yeah.
Jeff Triplett. I was thinking about the hit because then last night, I don't know if you saw.
See, because I thought, look, Kenny, Tayshaun, he turned his back to the play and tried to come in like that. This wasn't Bradley Roby who came into the play and then thrust it up. Not saying that it was on. There's a difference between the two plays there, clearly, and that Gibson had rolled his back in and tried to get away. And when I think you talk about Finley, his head just jammed into the ground. That's where the issue was. It wasn't so much the way Gibson hit him, it was the way he finished off the roll. I think that's where the injury happened. I'm
loving Andy Baskin getting all animated and doing some aerobics this morning here on Dogs on the Run.
That's about
good
as good as it
man.
gets.
Hey, OHIO, whatever, right? Bottom line is there was contact made with the helmet of the offensive player, whether it was intentional, unintentional, whether it was Andy Baskin style, whether it was Bradley Roby style, whatever. They're going to throw the flag. I mean, players have to learn that, whether they agree with it or not. That's the rule that they're stressing because they're afraid of future lawsuits, and they're trying to protect the players, they say. So that's how it's going to go, and players now have to adjust and realize that.
Well, I didn't know that we were going to start getting all animated, so I thought he led with the shoulder and not the helmet. I thought he went shoulder. I thought he had shoulder, no helmet. But that was, I mean, and they also talked about Jermichael Finley making a play and advancing the play. He was not a defenseless receiver. He wasn't going down to give up. He actually went in with his shoulder to Taj Gibson, if you saw, and then Gibson came in. I thought Gibson lowered the shoulder. I think that's an old-fashioned football play. I just think it was unfortunate that Finley was lowering and Gibson was doing the same thing. It was almost, you know how quick it is. It's violent. It's a violent game. I think it was a simultaneous thing. It was just kind of a bang-bang thing. And I hope that everything's going to be okay with Jermichael Finley because he's definitely a great player. So definitely wishing him all the best as, you know, we just reported.
Any truth to the rumor, guys, that they're thinking about bringing in Cookie Monster and Animal and Mr. Snuffleupagus to go along with Fozzie Bear, who they put in for a spark yesterday?
Yeah, but you know what? He actually looks good running back kicks.
We're getting on Whedon, but you're turning to Fozzie Bear to run the football. You cut, Bobby Rainey and Fozzie Bear's the guy. Did they get him confused with Forrest? Whitaker, because his real name's Fozzie Whitaker. They get him confused with from Fast Times at Ridgemont High, the character that Forrest Whitaker played in that. I mean, some of these roster spots, guys, yeah, Whedon needs to go, but there are some guys on this team that don't belong in the NFL besides maybe Brandon Whedon.
Well, let's talk about one of those. Chris Obanai, who I like. I think he's a good guy. I think that if you put him where he's supposed to be on special teams and as your third-string running back, he's perfect. He cannot make a block in the backfield. If I'm Brandon Whedon, that's one of the reasons why I'm not being successful. Obanaya cannot make a block. For 3 weeks now, I've waited for him to make one block to free up Brandon Whedon. It hasn't happened.
In fairness to him, he's not a fullback.
Oh, I agree. I totally agree.
They're trying to play a running back at fullback, and I said that from day one of training camp that this was a stupid idea, that they needed to scour the waiver wire to find a fullback to block for Trent Richardson and to pick up the blitz for Brandon Whedon if he was going to be your quarterback, and they have failed to do so. And we even mentioned something to Chud about, well, in goal-to-go situations, are you maybe going to bring in a defensive lineman or an extra offensive lineman and put him in the backfield like other teams do? And he said, well, we're not at that point. Well, maybe they should be at that point for the fullback position wherever the football is at to get some help back there blocking, because you're right. There's no way Chris Obi-Wan Kenobi belongs in that backfield as a fullback.
Yeah, watching and then just watching the Bengals and Hard Knocks, I would have signed John Connors faster than you could imagine. He would have been
without
first
question. He should have been on the roster as soon as he was cut by Cincinnati.
All right, we were going to catch up with you. We will catch up with you the next half hour, too, as we head towards 8 o'clock here. Thanks, Kenny.
All right, remember, lead with the shoulder, but keep the head up. Don't turn this way. Go straight ahead. You got all that?
Yeah, it's easier for you because you've got a little camera in front of us. And Maybe I'll Skype in to make it look better. All right, thank you very much. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Roadman.
All right. So we've got a lot of things going on now in the next hour as we approach 8 o'clock. Coming up in this hour, we're a little bit behind. I think we're going to talk to Garrett Downing from Ravens.com. We will catch up with Matt
He had a
Lodi,
long night.
who is from Steelers Gab, and we'll talk to him. Kenny Rhoda, again, will join us again. Matt Wood from Dogs by Nature. Matt Wilhelm will join us at 8:20. Looking forward to hearing he played for the Packers, too. So
Where's
we'll hear
Sarah,
from him.
too?
And then, what happened to
Sarah's
Sarah?
she was supposed to be on the road. Sarah, we didn't hear from her
Flag
yet.
on yourself there, big boy. Where are you?
Yeah, where's our girl Sarah?
We're trying to get a hold of Sarah.
What's the
So,
problem?
I don't know. Green Bay, they might still be celebrating, or the fans that were so ticked on the bus might have
There's
killed her or
Garrett.
something.
Hey, and the funny thing is, Garrett's
Wait
had
a
a
second,
rough
wait a
night.
second. We have a bigger issue.
Delayed.
Hang on, we'll bring in Garrett for this, too. Garrett, are you here? Hi, Garrett. How are you?
I'm great, guys. How are you doing?
I need you to take a look at something here real quick. Do you see Eric Risto?
I do see him.
Eric, the referee? Do you think you could shave for the show? Do you think we're asking too much?
Hey, I'll
He's
shave
up there
when we get a
early.
win.
I don't think he's asking too much. He's got to step up his game a little bit, I suppose.
I'm growing my Browns win. I'll shave. How about that?
Unacceptable. This is the New York Yankees of mobilecast, dude. With
Can you
no
lower
facial
that
hair.
mic, too? Can you lower that mic there? Unless you want
There
to
you
start
go.
talking with your eyes. That's good.
Throw
All
a
right.
flag on yourself. will
Yeah,
you?
throw a
Just
flag.
Throw it. Throw it. Thank
All
you.
right, good. Nice. 15 yards for you.
Jeez.
And you're in timeout. All right, let's go to Baltimore. We'll check in with our Ravens correspondent and former Newsnet 5 employee of the month or perhaps of the year, and that is Garrett Downing.
He had a long night. How's everything? I saw your tweet about the plane delay and trying to get the heck out of town and all that stuff. But you're a young guy. I know you got a lot of energy, but you look like you recovered well.
All right,
Yeah, a little coffee
and by
this
the
morning,
way,
that's the trick.
all
Try
right,
to bounce
and by
back.
the
Yeah,
way,
it was-
okay, Pittsburgh's
it's a
now
long
creeping
night,
up on everybody.
And definitely, it's always a little tougher after a loss like that to a rival. So not the way you want to try to get out of town in Pittsburgh.
All right, is Pittsburgh getting better, or do the Ravens just have a bad game?
I think Pittsburgh is getting a little bit better. I think that they just started so poorly, but I think that they're still a decent team. But I think that the Ravens have a lot of issues that they need to clean up. I mean, Terrell Suggs said after the game that it's a state of emergency for the Ravens. So they've got issues on both sides of the ball. They had trouble stopping the run yesterday. They still haven't been able to find the running game on offense at all. Ray Rice has been really ineffective. It's his worst season so far in his career up to this point. So they've got issues. The bye could not come at a better time for the Ravens. They need to figure all these issues out over the next couple of weeks.
It's amazing that you talked about Rice having his worst season as a pro. What's going on with that offensive line? I mean, the Ravens' offensive line has been really good for a long time.
Yeah, they had to replace starting center Matt Burke. Now they've got a guy named Gino Gradkowski in there starting at center. So that's what a lot of people are pointing to. But I think overall they made some tweaks in the run game scheme coming into this year, so there's some issues in that regard. But I just think overall the running game hasn't been able to get going at all. I mean, it's a collective issue across the board. It's hard. It's easy to sit and point fingers and say, well, it's the center, well, it's Rice is getting a little bit older, but both running backs have been ineffective. The Ravens have not been able to find any holes on the ground. Yesterday they had 82 rushing yards, and that was an improvement. Coming into this game, they'd averaged 72 rushing yards a game. So really problems across the board. I think that's the biggest problem on offense. People can look at Joe Flacco or say, well, there was that game he had 5 interceptions, or maybe he didn't deserve the big contract. I think it comes back to the protection from the offensive line and the running game. That's the biggest problems for this team.
Garrett, how demoralizing is it to let Ben Roethlisberger go down the field at the end of the game to set up that game-winning field goal? I mean, the Ravens are known for defense, and it's the defense that let them down in the end.
Yeah, the defense has had decent days the last 2 weeks, but at the end of the game, they weren't able to get off the field. This week against the Steelers, they gave up the special teams gave up a big return, and then Ben drives them down the field and then puts up the field goal to win the game. Last week, it was Aaron Rodgers. They couldn't get him off the field to put the ball back in Flacco's hands to see if he could lead a late scoring drive to try to lead the team down the field for a win. So it is frustrating. 2 straight weeks the defense hasn't been able to get the opponent off the field in order to give the ball back to Flacco and let them try to go back down the field and score a late drive to win the game.
Yeah, but just remember, Garrett, on Ravens.com today, tell Baltimore it's okay because they're coming to their home away from home in 2 weeks. They're coming to Cleveland, and they get Brandon Weeden. So you tell them everything's okay because you're going to come to a place where it's almost like M&T Bank, too.
It is something to keep in mind. I'm sure that's kind of like the perfect remedy, so to speak, when you come out of a bye, and that's who you see coming up on the schedule. That's what I'm sure a lot of people in Baltimore are saying. They're looking at that and say, hey, that's a good sign. That's what you want to see coming after a bye.
Yeah. Like
All
a
right. Well,
dog
Chris,
on a
look at
steak
this.
bone.
Look at all the people calling
Yeah,
in.
so
We're
we're
seeing all these people
popular today,
popping in over your face. Any final thoughts about the Browns and how they might be playing as far as the AFC North? We're going to talk to our Pittsburgh guy here in a second, Matt Lodi. But your thoughts?
Well, I think that the Browns, clearly there's issues with quarterback. They're not the same team without Brian Hoyer there. I mean, you guys know that. So, yeah, the Browns, they seem to be kind of on the outside looking in at this point. The Steelers are at the top, or I'm sorry, the Bengals are at the top. Everyone's trying to play catch up. But I see there being a tough time for the Browns to keep pace with either the Steelers even or the Ravens to get back up to that, that top spot in the division.
All right, thank you. Clearly, Matt Lodi wants to get through with us this morning, too. So,
All right, thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Garrett, thank you so
Thanks,
much. You do a
Garrett.
great job for us, and we
You're the
appreciate
man.
we actually had some time to talk to you rather than at 8:25 when we've got like 4 seconds
I love Garrett.
to try to get through. I have a feeling that Matt Lodi's trying to call us from Steelers Gab. Of course, he wants to get through.
They got one
as
win.
fast
They
as
finally
he
got a
can.
win.
They won. Oh, look at all the Steelers
yeah.
paraphernalia going on in the
look
background.
at that. Huh?
You like that, guys?
That-
Check that out for you on time.
Wow.
There you
Wow,
go. Look
that's
at that.
great.
Look at
You
the
like
look
that?
at the Gatorade Steelers bottle. That thing's been up there since '77 probably. But
Do you have the IC light with Franco Harris on the outside of it, too?
No, you got the terrible towel plate. You got the the Super Bowl, different Super Bowl footballs, a lot of autographed memorabilia. That's the that's what the office is all about here.
Oh, that's great.
you have an excellent connection too, by the way, my man.
Thank you. I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
very
The lighting is
Finally,
very good.
Very
Lighting is very
nice.
good. All right. So to add to Browns fans' misery, the Steelers, who seemed like they were a mile away about 3 weeks ago, now are knocking on the Browns' door to be tied with them next week if the Browns can't beat Kansas City.
Yeah, and I think they've gotten some things straightened out. I think yesterday was definitely the best game that they've played in a long time. I think they were aggressive. I think they had a really good game plan going in against Baltimore yesterday. They ran the ball with a lot of success with Le'Veon Bell. Ben Roethlisberger was patient in the pocket. He didn't, try to force a lot of things. And I'll tell you what, up until that fourth quarter when the Ravens finally got a touchdown, that defense had not given up a touchdown in 8 quarters. So the defense was playing much better. They're not getting big plays. I think they're getting back to basics, guys. And I think for Steeler fans and for Steeler players, that's a big key right now.
Yeah, and now do you get the feeling that maybe they can start a little stretch run here? I mean, where they go? They got Oakland coming up.
New England.
They got New England. Oh, yeah, they're at Oakland, at
Hey.
New England. I mean, there's a couple of tough games on the road for them.
Yeah, no question about it. And the thing about Oakland, I mean, a lot of people look at that as, oh, that's a gimme game. The Steelers historically don't play well in Oakland in the recent era. And I know 2 years ago they had Carson Palmer and the Raiders on the run, and Oakland came back and beat them in that game. So you look at that game and you go, okay, the Steelers should win that game, but trust me, they won't overlook the Raiders, how badly they played in Oakland the last couple of years. And, of course, going to New England's never easy, but, this is one of those seasons when you can't predict very much. I don't think a lot of people thought the Jets were going to beat New England yesterday. So, all I can say right now is that, like Ben Roethlisberger said after the game yesterday, they're going to take it 1 week at a time, and hopefully good things will happen. And certainly, like Lamar Woodley said yesterday as well, they know that they started this thing really badly, but they feel like if they could just get 1 win here, 1 win there, they can get back in this thing. And, I know Cincinnati's 5-2, but I'll tell you what, the Steelers team is not afraid of anybody in the division, and they feel if they could just win a couple of games here and get things going in the right direction, they're going to be in a much better spot.
Schneikes, what is that a terrible towel plate, or is that actually a terrible towel? What is that
Where?
thing?
This up here?
Snoopy.
Yeah, what is that?
Those are plates. They're plates.
Okay, so let me get this straight. The terrible towel, which is a towel,
Those are paper plates.
has its own paper
They're
plate?
paper plates, yeah. They're paper plates.
What don't you have? I mean, do you just what are you, like a homeless man just collecting anything that's black and gold? I mean, what's going on there, Lodi?
Yeah, I'm a collector. You can never say I'm not a fan. I mean, give me a break here,
All right,
I've
what do you
got-
have in there? Just what's your favorite thing? A grown man that
Probably
plays
the
with
steel
dolls. What's your
curtain,
favorite thing?
Football right here next to the big Snoopy cookie jar guy. Or I don't know why that's up here, but when you move, you put things in places. That's the steel curtain football signed by all 4 guys, or steel curtain mini helmet signed by all 4 guys, and of course now 3 of the 4 are gone. So it's a pretty cool piece of memorabilia. And I've got a Hall of Fame ball right here signed by Lambert, Ham, Webster, and Bradshaw, which I got in 1998 at the Cleveland.
I'm suddenly
where
having
was that?
stomach
At the
problems.
IAP
Your
Center when they
signal
had
is
the
starting
National
to.
Sports
You're having trouble with your
memorabilia
signal.
show.
Are we having trouble with the signal? Thank you. Matt, thank you. Appreciate it. Goodbye.
Have a great week, guys.
All
Thank
right,
you very much.
Thanks, Lodi.
Don't lose all your
How much,
Steelers
so much
paraphernalia
junk is in there.
in a dumpster or something.
Wow.
Although I will say the steel curtain helmet's pretty cool. I got to give him a little love for that. Not much, but a little love on that.
Yeah.